that part. Anyway, so I hope you guys are having a good night. I'm tuning in from New York. I'm traveling right now. We're in the middle of a little like family vacation because my mom, her birthday is, I think, on Monday. So we're celebrating in New York City. So whoever said that you cannot build a business and travel at the same time was wrong. Okay. You can totally do this. And I'm so happy to have all our leaders here today connecting because it's going to be a great night, especially for our trainings. The best trained teams are always the teams that are the best, not gonna lie, okay? Especially when it comes to skills training. And tonight we have such a huge privilege to have someone from the corporate office be here with us. I mean, they're spending some of the precious time like trying to train us, and I think that's amazing, and I think we should give them a shout out when this is over. But I'm so happy to be able to learn something that I think we all have been yearning to know more about, which is social media. We all know that we can definitely expand our business through social media. There's so much power to it. It's just that we might need some proper training. And tonight we're going to get it from one of the best people around. Okay. This is our US sales strategist. Okay. So if that doesn't, ring a bell or doesn't excite you, we've got to do something about that because tonight, please, please, please welcome Ms. Jade Allen, who is here with us all the way from Utah. Hello, Jade.
Hello, you guys. So excited to join you all. This is amazing. Yes, I'm very excited to be talking about social media. It's my favorite topic to talk about and train about. And I'm honored that you guys want me to train you. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen.
Perfect.
And we will get this going. All righty. Let's see. This is from my Convention Shine presentation. So just to let you know, if you obviously see all the Shine logos, that's why. All right. So again, I am a US sales strategist for the US English speaking market. I work with Nathan. I'm sure you guys all know who Nathan is. He's awesome. And he's super helpful and does the best training. So I'm super happy that I get to work with him. All right, guys. Now I'm just going to move this up here. All right. So first of all, we're going to be talking about attraction marketing. Building a following and your for life business. Okay, so this is what we're doing on social media. Think about some of your favorite brands. So I don't know if you guys are taking notes tonight. You can write it down. You can just kind of think about it. But think about your favorite brands that you follow, maybe on social media, or maybe just brands that you just like. They have a product or multiple products, right? So they're selling different products. They network in their industry and use social media to attract new customers. Now, how is your for life business any different from that? I mean, obviously we know there are big brands like Nike or, whatever it is, they're networking, they're using social media, but it's no different for your brand. You are creating your own brand through For Life. Again, you aren't just selling For Life to people, you're selling your personal brand. So when you're on social media, essentially you're selling you in a lot of ways. You're selling your personal brand of For Life. View your For Life business as your own brand, as your personal brand. So you want to be thinking about how you can customize that in a very personal way. You're branding yourself. So people join people, not companies. So I think that's important to remember, that people are all about other people. They want to connect, right? So think about the why behind what you do. Become the leader in your own brand on social media. So if you are taking notes, think about your why. And I think that's going to be very important even when you think about your posts. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a quick example of an entrepreneur. This is somebody who is in network marketing. And I want to give an example of a good bio. And the reason why I'm showing you is just to kind of break it down on Instagram, right? So she has her name. She has that she's an entrepreneur. You can make it whatever you want. There's a few options on Instagram. I think digital creator is a really great one to have. Entrepreneur is a good one. Whatever you think is going to explain kind of your niche. So she has that she's a believer, that she's a wife and mother, helping women make residual income from social media. She's a florist, entrepreneur, and encourager, and then she has a link in bio. So I think it's really important to focus on all of the different things that she's listing out that kind of give you an idea of who she is and what she's doing on her social media. So that's the important part of a bio, is this is one of your first touch points with people. Especially I talk more about Instagram because I think that is the direction that we're kind of all going in when it comes to social selling. And so this is just a great example of how you can kind of showcase your personality, showcase what you're all about is with that bio. So let's talk more about attraction marketing. Of course, we're going to break it down just a little bit more. Attraction marketing is where you attract people to the product by creating curiosity. People don't want to be sold to, okay? So that's interruption marketing. So there's two different kinds of marketing on social media a lot of times. And there's the attraction marketing, interruption marketing. So what is interruption marketing? So interruption marketing is any kind of marketing that interrupts a viewer's attention by being salesy. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. So sharing a photo of a product and telling your audience to buy now instead of inviting them to interact with your content. So this is content that is, let's say there's a BOGO going on, or let's say some type of a sale for life, and you just share a photo of the product and just tell people to buy. That isn't going to be as engaging as maybe a photo of you using that product, or a photo of you somehow incorporating that product into your day-to-day life. It's a way to more interact with people instead of being salesy. I hope that makes sense. So attraction marketing really contains these three elements. If you're taking notes, the know, like, and trust factor. These are all really three elements that are going to be a part of your content. Your audience needs to get to know you as a person. So your content should reflect that. It should showcase your personality. It should showcase your niche, all of those things. Obviously, they need to like your content. So that's how you're going to get followers. And then at the end of the day, you need people to trust you. And the trust comes from you being the expert in for life products. And so that's one way that they can trust you. Also, another way to build trust is going to be consistency, being consistent. People want to know that they can count on you when it comes to social media. Maybe that sounds silly, but people start recognizing when you're posting. So when you're thinking about consistency, you want to make sure that you are, figuring out a schedule that works for you so that people can rely on you and know when you're going to be posting.
Jade, can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
Okay, so this part about being consistent and kind of building a schedule, can you just elaborate a little bit more on that? Like, would you say being consistent would be posting every day, every other day? What do you mean about a schedule?
I am just about to get to that. I promise. That's right next. And I'm having trouble clicking next, actually. I don't know if it froze. Oh, here we go. Let me go back. Sorry, guys. It looks like it froze and then it just kept going.
It's a cram session, y'all. Make sure you're like screenshotting everything.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all you get. I'm just kidding.
Want me to stop sharing so then you can fix it maybe?
Yeah, I think it's fine now. I think Well, I'm not even touching it right now, so we'll see. Hold on, maybe now it'll let me go back. Okay. I never had that happen before. Okay, so here is the part about the schedule. All right. All right, so consistency. 10-4-1 NAP is what we call the NAP strategy. NAP stands for niche, attraction, and power. The way we break that down is you've got 10 niche posts, 4 attraction posts, and then 1 power post. And so the idea behind that is your niche posts are going to be your high value posts to grow your following. So this is going to help you grow that following and that audience. We're going to obviously go into more of examples of the niche, examples of attraction, build curiosity, connect your lifestyle to for life. And then we'll go over examples of that power post where you're inviting people to connect with you directly. All right, so posting schedule. So your 10-4-1 posting schedule does not equal 1 day or even 1 week of posting. So you want to make sure that you're spreading out those posts between weeks, depending on how much you post. And really how much you post is depending on what feels right to you. I always tell people to try and be consistent with at least 3 times a week. I think that that is a great starting point. I think it's a great place to start because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. You don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I have to post 7 days a week and, you know, at this certain time every single day. You want to make sure that you're doing something that you can be consistent at. So I always suggest 3 times a week. Here's an example of what your schedule could look like. This is just an example. So as you can see, I've got a niche post here, attraction, niche, power post. And then you've got niche again, attraction, and all of this equals that 15 post strategy there. Again, you can post more than this, you can post less, totally up to you and what you think is possible for you. Again, it's all about that consistency. And if you need to, you can take a screenshot of this, or I can always send this as well separately. All right, so some questions to kind of figure out what to post. So if you are taking notes, we're going to talk more about your niche. And so I'm just going to ask you these questions. You can write it down. You can think about it later if you need to. But this is just a way to kind of get your brain, you know, really thinking about what your niche could be on social media. So number 1, what are your hobbies outside of for life? Think about the things that you like to do. Think about, do you like cooking? Do you like travel? Do you like fitness? Reading? There's so many different hobbies out there. So, and I know sometimes you're like, I'm too busy to have a hobby. But I promise you, there are things that you're like, oh, wait, I do like doing that. Actually, I do enjoy that. So think about all of those things. It can be very small, but think about those hobbies. What interests you? That pretty much goes hand in hand with hobbies. And do you have a special skill? So the reason why we ask, do you have a special skill, is maybe there's something that you could teach other people on social media. Maybe you are really good at public speaking, or maybe you're really good at writing or cooking or whatever it is. You have a special skill that you can share with other people through social media. And then what value can you give your followers? Because again, niche posts are those high value posts, right, for your following. All right, so niche posts are the main portion of those weekly posts. That's the 10. So you have the 10-4-1. And, you know, it's a great opportunity to engage with your following. It's a great opportunity to grow a following as through your niche posts, because that's really how people are going to find you on social media, is through your niche posts. So let's start brainstorming some ideas together. So make sure you take some time to write down your content ideas. You don't have to do this right now, but if you maybe just make a note to write down 10 content ideas that have to do with things that you enjoy. Okay, so those are going to all have to do with your niche, whether it's a hobby, an interest, special skill, any of those things. Again, you can make a note to come back later, but you want to really have at least 10 ideas to kind of get you started. I think it's going to help build your confidence too. If you can think of things where you're like, oh, I love this, or, oh, I could do this, or it just kind of gets you excited about doing social media. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So an example of a niche would be yoga or fitness. Maybe you could talk about different yoga poses that go with different things. Maybe it's a nighttime routine yoga, or maybe you want to talk about fitness and maybe it's helped you with your confidence, or maybe you love reading books and you want to start a book club on social media and you want to invite other people to join your book club, and maybe it's self-help books, maybe it's novels, and you love fiction, but that's just kind of an idea of how you can create a community through your social media. Another example is maybe cooking. Maybe you love baking and you have recipes that have been passed down through your family, and maybe you want to talk about that and share some of those recipes with people, or even connect the immune system to those recipes. It's another idea for even attraction marketing. Or maybe you're great at building websites or anything to do with tech. Of course, these are just ideas, but these are just, for your brainstorming to really think about what you can start focusing on. Of course, the main ingredient for your niche posts are creating value. Creating value is very important when you are talking about your niche. Gary Vaynerchuk, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's a big time marketing guy. He's written lots of books. He has a podcast, and he says, give value, give value, give value, then ask for business. So he's all about posts that are giving value to people, and then you can ask for something. But you want to make sure the majority of what you post about is giving some type of value. And value can look like lots of different things. For example, maybe your niche is fashion. So the value that you're giving, if you want to be more so talking about fashion or style, or maybe you do style tips or different things, then you want to talk about maybe your different style finds. Maybe you want to talk about how to style for your body type, or different things like that. That's how you're giving value, is through that way. And then for the second example, another way of giving value, say you love to bake and you love to cook, so you've got recipes that you like to share. This is another way that you can give value through niche posts, and of course, engage with people. So then now we move into those 4 attraction posts. And those attraction posts are lifestyle posts with just a hint of for life. This is just where you're going to build that curiosity and connection with people through your content. And I think most of you probably have seen attraction marketing posts, whether you realized you saw them or not, but it made you want to engage with the content or click the link or follow the person. It makes you interested in what they're all about or interested in what they're selling, right? So we'll give a little bit more examples of that. What you want to think about are, how are these products fitting into your lifestyle? Think about the 4 life products that you take every single day and the ones that you love. Think about how that fits into your lifestyle and how you can maybe portray that on social media. So this is just a quick example that I give of like a morning routine. Hi, friends. Good morning. I hope you all are having a wonderful morning so far. I wanted to show you guys and walk you through my morning routine. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about, what type of supplements I take, and I wanted to show you guys what I take every morning. So first of all, when I wake up, I drink a ton of water. So definitely get a good water bottle that you can keep track of how much water you're having and drink a lot of it. This also helps me take my morning supplements. And the first supplement that I take is this cute little pack. It is called Right Start Women. There are so many good vitamins and minerals in this pack, and immune support, a fish oil, so many things that are completely created for women and for women's health. So love this pack. I also take these cute little capsules here. These are for being able to focus during the day and it helps me stay on task. It also helps me feel calm, and it just really helps me to stay productive throughout the day. And then I also have my little pixie stick. Now this is a prebiotic for digestive health. And so I just pop this little pixie stick every single day, and it just helps with the microbiome in my stomach. And so it's super good for that digestive health. So those are all the supplements that I take in the morning. So continue to follow me for more supplement advice and more tips. And I'll show you guys what I take in the afternoon as well if you're interested. So let me know. Bye, guys. All right. So that was one example of how you could talk about your routine for your followers. One thing you want to ask yourself are, what are your followers' pain points and how you can help? So a pain point is maybe somebody is searching for a good protein powder, and all the ones that they've tried are chalky and not very good, right? So how can you help with that? Obviously, For Life has an incredible protein powder, and kind of figuring out what it is your followers and your audience are interested in. Maybe a pain point is immune health. Maybe you notice your followers are more interested in hearing about the immune system, and this from interacting with them. So then again, you can use your attraction posts to give that solution. So an example. So here I've got glass of water with Right Start, and I'm talking about starting my day off, playing my favorite record, and taking my Right Start Women. And then maybe I'm talking about later in the afternoon about my smoothie routine, and I share the recipe for my favorite smoothie after my workout, and it has ProTF in it. And so again, you're kind of just hinting towards these different things, but you're not being salesy, right? So you're not trying to just sell these products. You are actually showing them how they fit into your lifestyle. Because if someone can see how they fit in your lifestyle, they can imagine how they're going to fit into theirs. All right, so utilize Facebook and Instagram story polls to find out what your audience wants to see from you. Because your audience is going to know best. And it's a great way to get to know them better. And I really think that this is so important. It's kind of a little cheat sheet, because when you utilize, a poll or a story or where they can type in their answer, this is a way for you to get to know your audience the best way possible, where they're actually interacting with you directly, even through DMs. So an example, what would you like to see more of on my feed? And they could pick wellness journey or everyday recipes. So this is going to help you figure out which way to go on your posts. And then the other example is, what would you like to learn about health and wellness from me? So again, establishing that this is kind of what my profile is going to be talking about. This is how I'm getting to know my audience, by asking them what they would like to learn, because they're obviously following me for that information. So then you can just kind of gauge from there their answers and then figure out what you want to post. All right, so now going from the 10 niche, 4 attraction, and then we have that 1 power post. Again, the 10-4-1 is all about, mixing those up. You don't have to go like 10 in a row and then 4 in a row and then 1. It is totally fine to mix those up. And in fact, you want to mix those up. But an example for your power post, this is where you connect with those followers on a deeper level. This is where you're going to use that call to action, that CTA. I don't know if you've heard of that term, but it's a way to connect deeper and have a conversation with people, whether that's in your comments or in DMs. This is the perfect opportunity to cultivate those relationships and gain trust with your following, because again, you're the expert. And with the power post, that is a great opportunity for you to really showcase how you are the expert, whether you're going to talk about network marketing or talk about, the products. It's just a great opportunity to really connect with your audience. Again, strong call to action, same thing as CTA. If you ever see that, just so you know, or if you ever hear me say CTA, it just means call to action. Here's an example from one of our golds, Dana Lombardi. So she talks about teaching on the immune system. It costs nothing to learn. She's inviting people to join a Zoom to really talk about, the education behind the immune system. And she says on here, I'm happy to send it to you. Let me know, kind of thing, right? And so then another example of a call to action is, are you where you want to be, or at least admitting it? If you want this year to be the year of change, let's partner up. That's an example that I took from one of our affiliates. Another example is, if you'd like to sample any products, let me know which, and PM me your address. Tomorrow is the last day I will be mailing out samples. So these are just kind of examples of some call to actions where it's not being salesy, but it's engaging with people. It's asking a question, or it's seeking kind of that conversation. And a lot of times it's great to have that in your DMs, pushing people from the call to action to your DMs, or from your comments to your DMs. So yeah, it's just a great way to kind of establish that relationship just a little bit more. Because again, like I talked about, multiple touch points. Your bio is a touch point, your posts are a touch point, and then that power post is kind of meant to be a little bit more of a push. And by push, I don't mean being salesy or pushy, but like just another touch point for people to engage with you. And so, yeah, so those are some examples there. And that is my presentation. And I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have.
That's so great. Thank you so much. I actually really, really love this presentation because it hit on the most important points of social selling. As a person, I know I use a lot of social media to move my business, get people involved in the products, etc. So this was a really great session. I know for me, I learned a lot. Now I have one question that I'm going to ask, and then for the rest of you guys, if you have questions, please type them in to the chat box and I'll ask Jade for y'all, okay? Jade, one quick question. So I think most of the ones that I had, you already answered completely, so thank you. Now, some people either have been starting with social media this year or plan to start. Now, what would you tell people who are beginning on social media to use attraction marketing? What advice would you have for them? Because I know some people are want results really fast, the same day. Right. So what can you tell them?
That's a good question. I think if you're just starting out, you really want to make sure, again, that you're being that consistent posting. And you have to figure out what's right for you. Maybe that's 2 days a week to start. Maybe that's 3 days a week. And then if you're just starting out, I would focus on a platform. For me, I truly believe that when it comes to social selling, that Instagram is the main platform to use. Of course, you can use Facebook. There are tons of people that are still using Facebook, so you can pick. But I always suggest getting really good at one platform and then moving on to another. Um, Again, for me, I think Instagram's the best way to go. It's the easiest for people to find you. It's a great way to use hashtags, which again, that's a whole other training that I could talk about in the future, is, you know, how to utilize hashtags and different things. But I think in terms of being able to connect and find people and people find you, I think Instagram is a great place to start. And then just starting out, again, you want to make sure that you have a profile picture that is of your face and that is nice, even if it's just an iPhone photo. And then your bio, you want to make sure that you have kind of like the example that I showed you. You want to make sure you have the link in bio. You want to make sure that, you know, you have kind of your personality showing and what you're all about, what people can expect from your profile. And then, yeah, just be consistent.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. I think that's really important. I know that when I started out, I had to actually did a challenge. Okay. So I don't know what you would think about this, because I know you're a lot more, you're an expert on this subject, but something I heard is you can start off. I started off aggressively. I did a 30-day challenge. I posted a reel a day, and it really did grow my audience. I found a lot of people, I got to interact with a lot more people. So I did a little bit of a challenge. So if anyone's interested in doing that, I know you can definitely reach out to the team. We can, kind of do a challenge within ourselves.
I'm actually going to be doing a challenge next month with the US sales team page. If you guys follow our page, I'm going to be going through reels like crazy next month, training about that and talking about that, doing a challenge with anyone that wants to do that. So definitely follow along if you want.
That sounds okay. This is awesome. I got really excited. I know Omar is going to be super excited about this too. Okay. I am latching onto that challenge, of course. Okay.
Awesome.
And let's see. Someone has a question here. Marissa says, I have been creating a page that I have not made public yet. I copied all the posts and pictures from the For Life page, but I add my shop links. I've been planning to pay for ads or posts to increase volume. It is a product page. Should I mix it with personal niche posts, or is it okay to keep it product oriented and pay ads? Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. For me, I feel like I would make it more of a personal page. I think that that's going to attract people more, because if people are just seeing products, they're going to be like, is this the business or is this a person? And it's going to be really confusing. So you want to make sure that, you have your personality in there, and, you want to make sure that you're branding yourself. And I honestly, I wouldn't even use For Life's photos. Personally, I would take my own photos, and make sure that you are incorporating it, like I said, into your lifestyle and showcasing that type of thing. You can still do ads that way. In fact, I think your ads would do better that way, because then somebody could maybe see your face. Maybe you could do a quick video that's talking about your favorite product or something as an ad. I think ads are great, but only if it's going to showcase you.
I love that answer. I think I would agree, because like you said at the beginning of your presentation, we are the brand. I mean, we are the ones people buy us, like they trust us before they go into the product and the opportunity. So I totally agree. I mean, that's what I would do. That's what I did. Okay. And just one more question. If you guys have any more questions, please just type them up so that we can read them out loud. But somebody was asking, what page should they follow for the Reels tutorials?
Yeah, so that's all going to be on the US sales team page. So when you type in on Facebook, it'll just be u.s.sales team, and then it should come right up. And so that's Nathan and I, that's our page. We do trainings every single week. Right now, we're actually doing a month of education. So we're doing a training every day, 5 days a week, at 12 p.m. So you can always catch that. But yeah, and actually tomorrow I'll be talking about social media as well. So
Perfect. We have a really great question here. It says, if you're interested in starting with social media, would you have a separate account or continue with the one you already have?
that's a good question. I would go ahead and continue with the one that you have, but do kind of a social media audit on your social media. So kind of go through those posts, kind of figure out, does this fit in the 10-4-1? Is this part of my niche? If it's not, you can archive it. That's easy to do. You can archive on Instagram. And then again, look over your bio. Be like, does this have all the elements that I think are going to attract people? Is this going to have all the elements that showcase my personality and my personal brand? So I think those are easy things that you can do, just to kind of tweak the profile that you already have.
Yes, I think that was a really good question because I know it came out in when I was starting off, I looked into it, and like you said, it's great, especially if you're Instagram and you post in your stories, to poll your audience or to ask them like something very simple, like what 3 things or 3 words come to mind when you think about me or something, just so you can start like niching down. Because it
Totally.
took me a while to find my niche, honestly, but it's just I had to just, try to figure that out. But I think
Absolutely. It takes time. It takes time. You start to figure out what is fun for you, what you like on social media. And yeah, it just takes time.
I think somebody described this well as saying it's the long game, but you're going to build a good community, a good base who will become your future partners or just raving fans who just want to see you be successful,
Right. Absolutely.
Somebody asked, I love this question. Thank you, Omar. Why is it important to have a profile pic of you versus kitty cat or a dog?
Great question. So you want to have a profile picture of you because that's who people are following. They're following you. They're following your journey, your posts. Again, people want to connect with people. So if it's a photo of you and your family or something, that could be great maybe on Facebook as your cover photo, but you want to make sure that, especially on Instagram, that your profile picture is of you.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed. I think one more question. It says, could I keep my personal, it's Marissa. Could I keep my personal profile and a business page?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I guess it depends on what kind of content is on the business page. Again, I feel like having a page that is for everything is really the best, just because again, you get the attraction marketing, you get the niche, you kind of get all of that together. And it's kind of a lot of work to be managing 2 pages like that. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Omar made a really good point. He says, don't go crazy cleaning up your social media now. I mean, unless you have some things you don't want people to look at, if you have some crazy stuff out there, you might want to clean that. But he's like messy. I think he's talking about messy action. It's best because I know when I started, my first reel was awful. My reels were awful, but I learned. So messy action is better than no action. And I think
100%.
I think the challenge, the trainings you are going to give will be very beneficial for anyone who's starting on their journey, and also just for all of us, like as a tutorial.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, Marissa, I just want to keep my profile private. Okay, so you want to keep a private personal page is what I'm assuming, Marissa.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think, if you want to just have that separate and maybe you don't use that for your business or anything, I think that's totally fine. You just wouldn't be able to get the benefits of using that if it's private, because no one would be able to find you. So again, if you were going to do that, I would just leave that as like very private. Don't even use that for your business, and then use the other one as, but obviously work in personal stuff into that. But it doesn't have to, you don't have to be like super personal. You know what I mean? Like just talk about your niche, talk about, how products fit into your lifestyle, that type of thing. And then maybe you have a different profile, like your private one that's like maybe of your family or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like if you really want to keep certain parts of your life very private, only share with like your very close friends,
Mhm.
that makes sense. And in your business page, definitely include yourself, though, show your face and choose what you want the public to see, I
For
suppose.
sure. For sure.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, just one thing I was just thinking about that also might be helpful is if you are on Instagram, look through hashtags like hashtag immune system, hashtag immune system support, or anything that has to do with the immune system, or even network marketing or social selling, things like that, so that you can discover people that are, maybe they're making reels, or maybe they are posting different things, but you can kind of look at other people's profiles and get some inspiration. Obviously don't copy anyone, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel with reels or all of those different things. You can take ideas and then make them your own as well. But I always think that it's a good idea to have some inspiration, because sometimes it feels maybe a little overwhelming when you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, and you're trying to figure out, come up with ideas. And sometimes you come up with ideas from looking at other people's content.
Most definitely. Another question. Okay, now we're getting questions. Okay. So Omar is asking, can you give an example of a pain point?
Sure. Yeah. Pain point could be, trying to think of, it kind of depends on your niche a little bit. Maybe somebody is needing at-home workouts. Maybe there's some moms that you know can't leave the house to go to the gym or whatever, and they're needing some at-home workouts. Maybe that's part of your niche, is workout programs. So you're solving an issue by creating at-home workouts for moms specifically. So that, again, when it comes to pain points, a lot of times it gets pretty niche, and it gets pretty specific on what that is. I think, again, with products, I think there can be pain points.
Mhm.
Again, the chalky protein powder that people hate, you're like, you can talk about that and be like, I have tried so many different protein powders, and this is the only one that I personally like to use. My family likes to use. It tastes great. Here's all the benefits. This is my smoothie recipe that I use with this. And that's solving a pain point. Maybe other people want something that has, immune benefits with it. Also not chalky,
Right.
and mixes well in a smoothie,
Yeah. I think something I do personally, and I'm just going to say this because it's worked, is
Yeah.
that I talk a lot about Revia sticks, which I'm actually taking right now. And I
Awesome.
emphasize a lot on like the electrolytes part of it, and also like hydration, because I come from a place that people get dehydrated so fast. And I used to have those issues.
Yeah.
So, especially for people who maybe don't like the taste of water, I do. But if people don't like that, or just need that extra boost of hydration, because I'm working out a lot more, like that is something that is like my, I guess, pain point that I drive home. And also the energies, like for the added boost. So I know that's got a lot of people interacting. So
Absolutely. I think that's great.
um, another question says, how important is it that our personal information on the Facebook page, the word for life does not appear? And if you recommend that we accept friend requests from people who are in for life? Oh,
Okay. So
that's
like
two questions. Okay.
people that are connected to For Life
Mhm.
on your Facebook, I think that that's fine to have, obviously your team and different things. Yeah, I think it's better to leave out For Life in your bio. You don't need to use that as a part of your bio. You could say so many other things. I've seen some really creative ones with the immune system. So you could definitely, kind of think of something different than just For Life affiliate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Another question says, are the real trainings going to remain on the Facebook page in case you can view, if in case you can't view them live?
Yes, and actually we have started a YouTube channel as well. So you'll be able to access those YouTube videos also, and we link those on that page as well, so you can subscribe.
Perfect. And last question we're taking is somebody saying that their Facebook was made with a created name for security purposes. I guess it's not their real name. Now I will need to create a new one, or can I change it to my name?
On like Instagram?
I'm assuming, I'm not really sure. Let's see. That this is Mari Carmen. I'm not really sure. Oh, Facebook.
On Facebook, okay. And it's not their real name.
Yes, it says my Facebook was made with a created name for security purposes.
Oh, I see. I would do your name just because, again, that's kind of part of like the profile picture, the, people wanting to connect with you. I think having your name for sure.
Okay. And just one more question. Sorry, it says, what's the YouTube channel you just mentioned for the trainings?
Yes, so that'll be the US sales team as well. Exactly how the Facebook page is. And if you can't find it by searching, you can always go to that US sales team page on Facebook. And we have a few posts that actually link to the YouTube as well.
Perfect. Jade, we thank you so much for your expertise. We are so happy for everything you just told us. Guys, it's being recorded because this is like gold for us. And we thank you for your valuable time, for being here. I know it's like after work hours, so we're like so grateful.
I'm so happy to be here.
You're so nice.
So happy to help you guys. I'm always available. You can always email me or message me on Facebook. My email is jadea@forlife.com. So if you ever have questions or just want to reach out and chat about social media, I'm there.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And on behalf of the entire team, thank you.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Of course. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it tonight. Just like Jennifer said, reach out to her if you need a copy of this recording. And remember that next week, same time, we'll be having our usual presentation. So thank you everyone for joining. I think, Jennifer, we can unmute everyone so they can say a thank you.